What's going on, people? Today, it's a good day. Well, for us, it's a good day. Starbucks, not Starbucks, but Subway, not so much. One of the things that's happening is they're going to close 500 plus stores because it's always more than what they say. Why is Subway closing 500 stores? Why is Starbucks closing 150 stores? The retail sector is in a depression. It's not a recession, it's a depression. And one of the things that is happening that is creating such a problem, because I really want you to understand what's happening. You know, all of those part-time jobs and full-time jobs they have. So for every store that closes, imagine 3 to 10 people who no longer have a job. 3 to 10 people. And depending upon their economic circumstances, who they are, where they are, then that's a lot of people. It's a ton of people. And this is how, because once again, we have a retail depression. Not a recession, a depression. Many stores are closing. Many name brand stores are closing. They're shutting them down, and we have like Staples. I hadn't looked at the stats because we're going to talk about Subway, which has the largest number of stores of any restaurant. Well, they did. So why is Subway restructuring? Their food is purportedly healthy. Jared, I wanted to use him as a thumbnail, but they all look creepy. Jared lost all his weight eating that Subway every day, eat fresh. What happened? We as Americans have changed how we do things. We are rapidly moving to online convenience. We are rapidly moving towards a society that is very, very service-based. I'll tell you about me. I don't really go more than 90% of my shopping, eating is done within 10 miles of my house. And on occasion, I'll go out a little further for something if I have a taste for something else. But 90% of the time, I am pretty local. And with the things that you have with this changing culture, people are becoming very, very much service oriented. You got people who don't leave their homes. Let me say that again. You have people who don't leave their homes. I used to be one of those people. I mean, I would leave the house 2 or 3 times a week. You got a lot of internet businesses starting. You have a lot of people who are working from home for corporations. So you have many, many things that are going down. Now, what does this mean? Now, once again, we have a retail depression. This retail service sector is going through it right now, slashing costs, closing stores. Now, what's going to happen? Starbucks. How many people are in Starbucks? The last time I went there, there's at least 3 to 6, maybe 3 to 7. So once these people are no longer have jobs, then they're going to try to seek jobs in other sectors of the economy. Now, what this does is going to raise that number of unemployment, which I think is felonious, which I don't think is correct because things are better, but they're not that good. And there's a lot of people who have problems. I don't think it was Jared that killed the Subway brand. I think the Subway oversaturated the marketplace with stores. I think that we have a lot of stuff. Like take wheat bread. If you don't know anything about wheat bread, the way that wheat bread is grown, wheat bread makes you fat or fatter. And it's not the quote wheat on the end product, it's how the wheat is grown. because they've done stuff to make the wheat a very fat, um, gaining, fat accumulating situation because of the way that we farm and recycle and grow wheat. So a lot of people are not eating wheat bread. A lot of people have gluten allergies, myself included. So we're just not eating a lot of bread. There's a lot of things that are changing. Now, one of the things that I want to do for those of you who want to survive this recession, the Never Broke Action Pack, the tools you need to thrive in the next recession, go ahead and grab that at 60% off. Links below. And if you don't need that course, just go ahead and super chat $10. We appreciate you. Now, once the retail situation, and we're going to go to a little screen share action here once I get this together. And be sure to super chat because there are no ads on this. Retail. I'll just put recession because they're not going to call it depression like I am, but all right, so because this has been brewing for some time now. It first started with Sears, J.C. Penney's. How many of you remember a store called Riches? How many of you remember a store called Parisians? We're going to have malls that are not going to be, malls are only going to be in wealthy neighborhoods or well-to-do neighborhoods or high-density neighborhoods. Or they're going to be, they don't even want to talk about the recession. They don't even want to spook people, man. They don't want to spook them. But this is where we're going because retail is never coming back. Let me just say this again. Retail is never coming back. The level of retail saturation that we had, it's over. And part of that is the convenience of the internet. People may go to the store to try on a pair of shoes and go home and order them off the internet for less. Now, Congress, the Supreme Court ruled that now that all of these people who are buying stuff on the internet are going to have to pay state taxes, which Amazon and a lot of the bigger guys have been doing for years. But for the smaller people, such as myself, that's going to be an accounting nightmare. Because when I have someone who buys something from Hawaii, someone that buys something from California, someone that buys, fortunately, it's going to take a few years to sort out, but it's coming. And why is it coming? Because the states need money. And why do they need money? Because the retail sector is disappearing and that revenue stream is gone or going or will soon be gone for many of them. This is what we have. This is where we are. And part of this thing with Subway closing 500 stores is fundamentally, as a culture, we have changed. I mean, it is the craziest thing. What's up, Carlos? What's up, Anthony? DJ Slink. Thanks for the $2 super chat, Carlos. Anthony Goodwin, Jared like the kids. That's not what killed Subway. That was on Jared. That wasn't on Subway, and they dropped him. Ben, going to sell a loft bed and mattress. Free money. Got it just from asking someone moving out. Amazing, isn't it? That if you just ask somebody some stuff, you can get something to make money. I'm telling you, the pedo thing, the paleo file, that didn't do it. That didn't kill Sears. That didn't kill J.C. Penney's. That didn't kill Kmart. All of this stuff is integrated. All of this stuff is together. All of this stuff is working and conspiring to harm the economy. The internet, which is great, is awesome. That's how I make all my money, is killing retail. It ain't like, I want you to think of a military unit. All right, so the internet is like these 7-foot tall Marines all carrying M60s with unlimited clips, and they're just killing retail. I'm going to tell you, this is good in some aspects, and it's very bad because I'm going to do something very different this morning. So we're going to see how that works. But part of the problem is people have gotten caught with their shoes nailed to the floor. This shift has happened faster than any other economic shift that we've ever had. This is probably one of the most, it is the most significant cultural, economic shift that has hit the United States of America. The move of buying stuff from stores to the internet. Because I know a lot of people are not going to want to believe me, but someone's going to knock off Amazon. In time, Amazon will be knocked off. And I know you're like, whoa. Not Amazon. Not Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. No. It ain't going to never, ever happen. People said the same thing about GE. Let's go visit GE. And this is very important. So hang out with me. All right, so let's get in here. And this is how I formulate a lot of my business hypothesis. So GE, 119-year-old company. I want you to think about that. Now, they're not going out of business, but GE made more millionaires than any other company in existence. Jack Welch used to tell everyone to buy General Electric stock during his tenure at GE, and many employees of Schenectady, New York were wise enough to follow the chief's counsel when it came to loading up on the stock. A New York advisor once remarked in shock at the blue-collar and secretarial clients who would show up on the eve of retirement with $10,000 to $25,000 in general mutual funds and over 10,000 shares of General Electric. GE was taking care of people. The people were working really hard for GE. They had a social contract. GE said, you give us your youth, you give us your energy, your time, we're going to make you rich in retirement. And for a long time, that's what happened. If you were making $50 and raising a family while working in the GE factory, putting light bulbs in the cardboard cases, you found your world turned upside down when the factory got reduced to a dozen tech employees because robot technology could package the light bulbs. Now let's go back to this. GE is a 119-year-old company that had a dividend. That means you bought stock and it paid you a dividend. It paid you money for holding that stock. They may have to get rid of that. And I was wondering when that was going to happen. So GE, a company that made millionaires, once again, a company that made many millionaires that worked there, had a social contract, is now, I think, trading at $7 a share. So if this could happen to GE, which was giving a return to employees, which were giving a return to the economy and any state or any neighborhood it was in, GE made that area more prosperous. And they fell off. Amazon don't do that. Amazon ain't like that. And at some point, Amazon's going to be falling off or beat by another competitor. I know that's hard to embrace or even understand with Amazon roaring, the stock market rewarding Jeff Bezos, but it's going to happen. Because it happens to all companies. Sooner or later. Gotcha, that's why I don't eat. Wait a minute. Hold on. This just jumped. Wait a minute. Good Lord. All right, here we go. Ganja, that's why I don't eat sandwiches. Sandwiches are great. I eat homemade sandwiches with Killer Dave's bread or Eureka bread because that stuff doesn't have the fat growing wheat. Carmela, they had great marketing campaign with $5 footlong. It got traffic into the stores, but franchisers were saying it was not profitable for them. I could see that. Struggle days, the food sucks. Really? Mall apocalypse. Crypto, oh well, shit hits the fan. Best Buy actually has a very robust online sales model. So, what's up, Stefan? Malcolm Brown, Rhonda. Tours of Us, that's another one. Carlos, I ordered T-shirts, hand wash, etc. on the net just this week. This going to be this big flip in the next 10 years. For a long time, the internet only made up a single digit percentage, 9%. In the next 10 years, that's going to triple. It's going to triple. It's going to go from 8.9 to 27% in the next 10 years. And that's when you're going to see a lot of innovation. That's when you're going to see a lot of stuff coming up. And all the big companies, Apple is very much on that. And Amazon is buying up anyone that can be a challenge to them. That's why they bought Zappos. What's up, Judson? What's up, Acuna? Gothic Angels. Joshua Hill, you were fancy if you shopped at Parisians. Parisians started in Alabama. That was an Alabama brand. Pizitz. I don't know if any of you are from Alabama, but Pizitz, which was bought out by Riches. When Riches was bought out by Macy's. I think Macy's is still around, but Pizitz, Riches, Parisians, they're gone. Mr. Sandeep, Subway in my area is low quality. Jimmy John's dominates my area. I think part of the problem with that is Subway was in such a growth pattern that they cut corners, they made a lot of bad decisions, and they got loaded up with debt. Landon Davis is all about speed when it comes to the services. A lot of them are just moving too slow. Internet, man. Press a button. It's like, that Jimmy John's, they really got that little commercial going where, and Jimmy John advertises heavily on talk radio. Get your FU money now. Pretty much, Edward. Rugged College just need to focus to start your physical products on an online concept. Trust. What's going to happen, especially with 3D printing, If you didn't know, if you have 10,000 subscribers, you can integrate Teespring with your YouTube channel. That is going to be huge. You will be seeing t-shirts probably in a day or so under these videos. Crypto, I used to ask for free stuff from leftover yard sale people too lazy to take it to Goodwill. Can I get a hello? Can I get a super chat for the information? We got 2 people in here who are saying they're making money from the free information. Just saying. Teenagers? No, and this is something else too. And this is a good point. These used to be teenage jobs. This is why I feel that the unemployment report is garbage. When I go to a Subways, Chick-fil-A keeps that. Chick-fil-A is very, very picky about who they hire. But you'll see kids working at Chick-fil-A. McDonald's, you might see a grandmother type working at McDonald's. You may see a 30-year-old or 40-year-old being the manager at McDonald's. These jobs used to be for teenagers, but now they've gone way past that they've become career occupations for older people. That's highly problematic. These were used to be jobs that people got to get extra money in high school or college even. That's gone away. You got people working at McDonald's who have families. So good fella Neil. Gee, do you think some of these dinosaurs at the companies don't know how to market to millennials? Millennials are a very frustrating thing because see, millennials buy a lot of shit. And I do believe marketing to millennials is a problem that a lot of these companies have not embraced, because millennials are, how many of you had this picky eater? You know, you got a kid who just is very picky about what they eat. That's millennials. They're very picky about what they eat. They're very picky about what they shop. They're very picky about the car they drive. They're very, very picky across the whole spectrum. And if you can't market to them, you're going to lose. So what's up, Struggle Days? Thank you for the $2, $3 super chat. Mr. Sandip, the customer will always want a face-to-face experience purely for information. The information shop online. Fact, AT&T is closing down corporate stores as well. I'm going to disagree with that. And this goes with the millennials. Millennials grew up with cell phones. They don't know what life is like without a cell phone. I want you to really think about that. All right, just cut to the chase. Millennials will have a long-term, loving relationship with someone they never met. They just talk on Facebook or Tinder or used to be Craigslist. And then they meet someone and they FaceTime and they chat and they never physically meet that person. And I know that's going like really far, but just to illustrate my point, that millennials are very comfortable with a buying experience that doesn't have a face-to-face interaction. Landon Davis, the shift followed the whole social media movement, pretty much. Crypto, glad they didn't raise minimum wage to $15 an hour, because you see a lot more companies for fast foods out of business. I agree wholeheartedly. McDonald's saw the writing on the wall, and McDonald's started putting off kiosk. G laid off 1,500 plus. Over the years, they've laid off several, like tens of thousands of people. They've been shedding people for years. Kuna, but Amazon has so many ecosystems. It's like, which one? Amazon is a brilliantly run company. But part of what's going to get Amazon is because, you know, people were talking about that Amazon was going to be the first $1 trillion company. I said, no, Apple would be. And Apple is the first $1 trillion company. Amazon, because it's the king of the hill, everybody's coming after Amazon, and they're coming after Amazon hard. and someone's going to get them. And it's not going to be someone that's going to out Amazon. That's going to take too much money. It's going to be a clothing store that has this custom. I mean, this is coming. You're going to be able to get an app, scan your body, and this store is going to make clothes that will fit you super well. And that's just going to be hard for Amazon to jump into. But they're going to charge a lot of money for this, but that's coming. And then you're going to have, and then when you start seeing all these people with these super well fitting clothes, you're not going to be comfortable or want that cheap shit from China. G stocks. It's went through a lot. Spartan stock trader Jack Ma's Alabama will pass Amazon. Could be. And that's another thing. And that's a very good point. The rest of the world. There are more people in China than in the United States. There are more people in India than in the United States. There's almost as more people in Brazil. Brazil has a population of 300 million. That's 340 million of us. So when you start, as the world becomes wired and as it comes on, it's going to present a lot of opportunities. God, because they used to be part of Amazon, this foreign phone company. They're in South America. They're in London. And I know they're making billions. G's in your hospitals. G is not going out of business, but there will be a shadow of who they were. All right, let's see. It just jumped like crazy. All right, hold on. Good Lord. 285 property. G's former CEO took away too long to move the company forward. Morning room. I don't know what that is. Mr. Sandip, I agree 100%. Rockstone Morning Alibaba will buy Amazon with manufacturing based in Eritrea, Tanzania, and Rwanda. Ganja. That's going to be actually the next live stream. RTD2 will take your job, will work like a slave with no sleep, and won't protest. Mrs. Fuller, thank you. Yeah, I mean, Amazon, because all companies are vulnerable. DJ Slink China will buy Amazon, possibly. I don't think Amazon's going to be bought by anybody as long as Jeff Bezos is alive. Now, once he passes on, I think he's relatively young. He can live another 30, 40 years, maybe 50. So, but once again, someone's going to eat Amazon's lunch. Mr. Sandep, ATDT gives a 5% dividend that owns media, 33% buck. One of the sharks, what's his name? Kevin O'Leary. He only buys stocks that give dividends. If it doesn't give a dividend, he won't touch it. What's up, Roll Tide Crypto? It's going to be very interesting at the quarterback situation this year. Mrs. Fuller, Manulife just cut 7,000 jobs. So sad. People really had to start taking charge of their life and build a business. With that, what? All right, there we go. Never Broke Action Pack. The tools you need to thrive in the next recession. Super chat $10. It's 60% off the Never Broke Action Pack. Links below. And the promo code is HUSTLE. That's right, HUSTLE. Let's see. Yeah, GE is still amazing. It's just they don't need all those people. Sandwiches are good. Seem you don't have to ask women to bring them to you. That's funny. Cheap sandwiches. Thank you, Mrs. Fuller. Amazon will be the new Time Warner. Very interesting thing with Amazon. Um, I'm I've noticed that their quality is dropping, and I'm not just saying this. I've noticed it for months because I ordered some stuff that should have been shipped today, and now this is the middle of the summer. Well, the beginning of the summer, and it was just like it's delayed, and this has been happening to a lot. So Amazon's having some problems with shipping, the thing that made them what they are. 285 property. Subway was always in trouble but went down. No, they weren't always in trouble. And this is part of the larger trend of retail in a depression. Because it ain't just Subway. If Subway was the only company doing this, I would say, okay, I agree with you. It's Subway, it's Starbucks, it's Toys R Us, it was Sears, it was J.C. Penney's, and there's so many more. There's a lot of these stores that are, because we just don't need the retail room anymore. Subway, I think, was a quality issue because their sandwiches just got deep. Amina and Lara, hey, Glenn and Peace, be with you. Do you sell online with Amazon? No, I do not. Actually, that's not true. I have some books on Amazon, and it doesn't make as much money as it used to, but so technically I do sell, but I don't really push it. Landon Davis says, Amazon gets Aldi like I think it's going to happen, then it's going to be tough for them to fall. Yeah, people said the same thing about GE. People said the same thing about Microsoft. Oh, yeah, and people said the same thing about IBM. They will be tough to beat, but they are beatable. Struggling. I'm a truck driver. Maybe I had it too much. What's up, Pamela C? Yes, America is struggling. Certain sectors are in depression. Pamela C, the Macy's near my area was downgraded in size. People, well, you got people such as myself. We're 50 years old. We're still going to malls. Well, actually, not even. I do probably 80% of my shopping online. But it ain't on. It used to be a lot of my shopping was with Amazon, and Amazon has gone down to about 20%. Because I can't find the stuff I want. A lot of the brands are figured out that if we sell on Amazon, we're going to get fucked. So they're not doing that. So I am buying from other brands. Like when I buy from Apple, I go straight to the Apple website. You can buy anything from Apple and 2 days free delivery. So if you don't feel like going to the mall, and then there's literally where I live, in a 10-mile square radius from my house, there are 3 Apple stores. There's one at Lenox, there's one at Perimeter Mall, and there's one at Cumberland. You don't think Aldi? Because, it's interesting. Alice Hardy, the knowledge is golden. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I think unless Macy's does something radical, it's hard to say with Macy's because I don't know what their debt load is. If Macy's has very low debt, they can survive easily. I don't know what their debt load is. That would be if they got Aldi. See, this is the thing with, let's see, Amazon getting Aldi. Aldi's already cheap. Amazon has lowered the prices of Whole Foods. Now, let's just get here, and let's talk about this. The reason that Amazon was able to buy Whole Foods was Whole Foods was heavily leveraged. They had a lot of debt, and that's why Amazon was able to go in there and scoop them up. If Whole Foods did not have these debt levels, I don't know what all these debt levels is. I haven't researched it. Amazon would have never been able to buy them. They never would have sold. And this is how companies used to be built in America. They would keep their debt levels low, buy back their stocks, and keep it strong to keep insider traders, corporate raiders from buying them. Now everyone is leveraged, other people's money, OPM, and it makes it like as long as everything lines up, as long as the money keeps coming in and you're able to pay everyone off, it's cool. But the minute there's a hiccup, your ass is being replaced as CEO, Steve Jobs. So be careful with that. All right, King. It was when they found that their bread was made with the same glue type filler used to make shoes, and that Jared scandal made them fall off. Now, I'm going to agree with the ingredients of the bread because everybody is looking at ingredients. I know that I stopped going to Subway because their sandwiches were loaded with sodium. Like a crazy amount of sodium, like double what a person should have in a day. Just one sandwich. I think the sandwich deal, the ingredients of the bread, had more of an impact than Jared. The smell it happened. The online grocery market is growing every day at an alarming rate. Been the bartender, old folks who couldn't afford to retire work at McDonald's all day long. Giscard, retail is already in a recession. I want you to think about that. Retail is already in a depression. Oh yeah, y'all stealing my thunder. Rodrigo, the goal is to replace tax slaves with robots. Landon, just keep the food cold with transport and the Amazon. I'm good. Gilscart, we're in. The retail sector is already in recession. Need a robot tax slave. That's funny. Which brings me to my point. Millennials will spend 100 to 10,000 virtual coins for their phone game. Why are you talking about me like that? Stadium status. I don't think malls will exist in about 10 years. I made Foot Locker I made 500 in one fiscal year. Malls will be around, just like their bookstores still around. It just won't be as many of them. Stefan, when Toys R Us closed, I said, maybe I guess we all have to grow up now. Oh, man, that's funny. That dude, I know someone who used to own 5 Subways. He closed one for that very reason. I would go in there. I never had to wait. Never, never, never. All right. This sucker just keeps jumping. Let's see. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good Lord. Goodfellas, the hood support too many sneaker stores. Foot Locker will still be open. I don't believe that. I don't believe that because a lot of people in the hood are getting their sneakers and stuff offline. Mr. Sandeep, that was a brilliant statement regarding custom-made clothing. I live and die off my custom-made orders for clothing. People are moving toward better quality stuff, like me. I used to order a lot of stuff. I don't order like this phone case. I went to the Apple store to get this phone case. I don't really order a lot of stuff off Amazon that's like cheap. So what you're going to find out, and I do agree that China is going to be a monster on Amazon because they've bought warehouses here in the United States, so to reduce that shipping time. Carlos, I don't really need to have face-to-face transactions. Sometimes I find employees standoffish. I'd rather just order off the net or a kiosk. And that's what a lot of millennials do. Sean Publix has the best Subway sandwiches. I was just about to say that. Their food quality leaves more to be desired. Their chicken is only like 40% chicken. Good Lord. 40%? With Alibaba moving closer to 72-hour gross global delivery, just shows you the power China has. China is probably going to replace the United States as the world's global superpower. Verizon will close many of their stores. I've noticed that Verizon has stopped opening stores like they were, and they had worked out these partnerships where the store would say Verizon, but it was a reseller. Because the money in the phone game isn't the phone; it's the service contract. Goodfellas, when I found out their chicken was not real at Subway, I really left them alone. This was years ago. Last thing a food place needs to be exposed to find. That right there, I think, is the reason that Subway is closing so many stores. The bread is not made with garbage. The chicken, I didn't know the chicken wasn't real. That's crazy. GC, how does ATT buying Time Warner change the content race? It doesn't. See, all right, I'm going to deviate for a second. I'm going to come back to this recession talk. I have started, I'm running like 3 channels, and I'm going to add 2 more this year. What I know about the YouTube ecospace is if you hit it just right, you can be bigger than a cable company. And with the distrust that people have for news outlets, more and more people are going to their favorite YouTuber, their favorite podcast, their favorite blog to get their news. So they can buy it, but it's not going to disrupt this thing. And for kids are leaving Facebook. But YouTube for kids is number 1. That is huge. That is huge. That chicken thing is crazy. Just trying to fathom how this high technology is going to take hold when technology can't even download a site in ample time. Oh, it's going to be mind blowing. Honey Bunny, decrease in face-to-face social interaction and each generation progresses to an internet and introvert gold mine. Pretty much. All right, so this is how we're going to do it today. And I need to close this. Because what we're going to do, I'm going to do all these in the morning versus like doing them late at night and stuff. So the next one that's going to happen in like 5 minutes, and let me get to grab the link, is Recession Talk. Robots and automation are going to take your job, do it better, less for less, and start now. So we're about to jump over to that. Let me go ahead and throw this link up in the chat, because this is just an overview. Retail is in a depression. It is. All right, so make sure that because this is going to start up in 5 minutes. I'm not even going to take a potty break. So just go over there now, and this will be the next one. It's like literally going to be 5 minutes. And I'm going to get more expansive into that one, because that's where the real juice is going to happen. That's where the real change is going to happen. For those of you who understand that you need to move now. So I want you to put this here. For anyone that needs help, Never Broke Action Pack, the tools you need to thrive in the next recession. Super chat $10 real quick, or go ahead and get the Never Broke Action Pack, which is 60% off with the promo code HUSTLER. Hustle. So, all right. So I will see y'all at the next video in 5 minutes. So with that, be sure to subscribe, be sure to share this video, and I will talk to you guys in 5 minutes or less.